So, yes, there are some barriers, as always. It happens with technology, it happens with software. And we have to address that. And that's the key difference between just going and getting whatever tool, open source, the latest cool stuff that your engineers or your developers want to use or learn, versus working with a proper product, proper serious organization that is going to support your efforts. Axway. So you need backing, right? You need someone to call when you need support. You need someone that is going to go and fix or tell you what's the roadmap of the next feature, not whatever they say in the community in open source. And I mean, nothing wrong with use community open source products. There's absolutely nothing wrong. But how about when we can offer more of that as part of our, in this case, Axway Accelerator offering? So obviously security. Every time you do a survey, number one concern is security. The funny thing here is, and I've been in hundreds of customer meetings, is as soon as you said, yes, we have security, checkbox, then they don't ask again, right? If you want to encrypt, not encrypt, that's a detail. That happens. So yes, you have to address that, and you have to tell them, all right, how are we going to do it? Are we going to encrypt all the information? Transfer. Are we going to encrypt at rest? If it's going to be on the cloud, it's going to be on the device. Do I want to store on the device? Right, the memory on the device. Like if you go to, you're using Twitter, if you are offline, which by the way, I never had like really coverage inside these rooms other than the Wi-Fi, like never cellular coverage. So you're offline, you can only see what you saw the last time you were online, right? Like the older tweets. Well, that's memory. That's actually cache. That's memory in your device. Well, you can design the app to store zero information on your device, especially when you talk about private information, personal information, financial information. So all those considerations are important, and you have to talk about when you start. All those are fixable or doable, which you just have to plan for them. Again, encryption, no encryption, store, no store, and so on. Integration with single sign-on, integration with identity management system, things like that. The integration with enterprise systems, that's a big one, right? And I heard from customers, I was sitting in front of customers and they said to me, I just spent more than a year deploying this CRM. I have no interest on building an app right now. And I'm like, well, you're not going to fit everything on your CRM in an app, right? The app is going to be something very small. It's going to have a specific function. It's going to solve a specific problem. Yes, we need to go and integrate with that. But guess what? That integration is also going to help us to build your second app and your third app and more, right? Salesforce.com, there's a ton of information out there. You don't need an app that goes and gathers all that information. You need an app that maybe just gives you, your latest report or your latest contact information. Simple app, just something that you just need. But you have to plan for that, and you need the tools to make sure that you can reuse those integrations. We're not going to cover it here in detail, but obviously we offer pre-built connectors. We offer technology to facilitate the integration with those backend systems. And I can go on and on and on, right? Constant change in technology, right? And this is another important piece of advice. Build your apps, build your software to change, not to last, right? Because technology changes so often. Make it more modular. So if something you have to change, you can just change that specific module. You don't have to change the whole thing. And going back to APIs, and you were in the API sessions, that's one of the nice things about APIs. You just have one thing, and the API can change, and that's all you need to change. So build your apps, build your software to change, not to last. Don't go monolithic and all of that, right? I mentioned tech support. That's an important consideration, no question about that. Especially if it's a mission-critical mobile app, where you're going to get your job assignments there, where you're going to get critical information. Make sure that you have the support, internal and external, with your vendors. I guess I don't have to explain budget and speed to market. And that's another change on mentality with mobile apps. This is about a small thing. One of the sessions earlier was about prototyping. And I don't know if you got that, but they said it has to be in 2 weeks, no more than 3 weeks, the prototyping, right? So not a 6 months or a 12-month project. We're talking about something that it's a small, one click, one tap, you get the information you want. That's the mobile experience. When was the last time you read a manual to learn how to use an app? Never, right? Has to be. And if it's too complicated, then it doesn't work. Then you did a bad job on the design on your mobile app. So how do you start the project? And these are just a few ideas, a few tips. Focus on one thing. Focus just one specific problem. Solve one. Either solve a specific problem or provide specific information. Make sure that you cover everything. Make sure you have your list of things that you, in terms of functionality. And many times you start actually coding on that functionality, or you keep adding depending on how your usability or your prototype or your design mockups go. One of the nice things about mobile apps is that you can build your app, install on device, and see the progress. So iterate constantly, iterate, get the feedback. It's not an open book, right? These are the functionality. I want your feedback around this functionality, not redesigning the app every time somebody's going to look at that, which happens as well, right? Testing, make sure you cover that. The more automation you have in your testing, the better. So you can test after every release the same test cases, and of course monitoring. And many apps out there. I would say the majority of the apps, I don't know the percentages, maybe 70–80% of the mobile apps out there are not monitored. They have no analytics, so you don't know what's the real usage other than how many people download the app. You don't know what the real usage is. You don't know any of the activity, if one function is more important than others. So analytics is a key thing. And again, that's something that we offer as part of the Axway Accelerator platform. So before I let Shravanti, did I take all the 30 minutes already? No? Okay.
Almost.
Just 3 examples there. And I try to simplify it as much as possible here. It's not complicated math, all right? So bear with me. These are just simple examples. And I think with this, you can build from here, just to give you an idea. And it's important to present a return on investment on every project, right? So let's start with the first one. My app, my mobile app, is going to give access to more users that can purchase my products. So kind of e-commerce type of app. So very simple math. Again, this is just to give you ideas. If I have 1,000 new users per month, now it depends on the company, right? But it's not really that crazy. 1,000 new users because now I have a nice mobile app. 1,000 of you, and of course you can change this anytime. 1,000 new users per month. The average price, average purchase is $50. So 1,000 times 50 times the 12 months, $600,000 in revenue, additional revenue per year. Simple math. You're just multiplying the variables here, and you can obviously make it as complex as you want, and depending on the month and so on. Improving processes saves time. So if this is a field workforce, they're out on the street or on the field doing installations, repairs, any type of job, maybe you can estimate that a productivity gain of 10 hours per month. 10 hours per month is not a lot, right? You're supposed to work 40 hours a week. 10 hours per month seems reasonable, time savings. What's the average salary per hour? So you have to get that information, $30. Again, just to make it easier, for 1,000 employees, so 10 times 30 times the 12 months for the 1,000 employees, so $3.6 million in savings. And again, all I'm doing here is multiplying the variables. Simple math. And then the third example, mobile app saves travel time, right? Again, because you have a map, because you know where to go, depending on the app. So you can estimate, well, maybe I save 1 hour per day on savings because now I have a cool new app, right? That, by the way, connects to backend system, and I will have everything online in real time, and the supervisors and the managers from web portal can actually dispatch new job orders, and they can get the information, the picture that you just took before doing the job, they can see it right away. Which, by the way, if we have time, I'll tell you another story about that one. Force your employees to take a picture before they do the job, take a picture after. So there's no question about if they did the job right or not, if someone else did it, if they need another extra 2 days to do it, do it. And by the way, that's another ROI, right? The money that you can save with that type of new process or discipline. So saving travel time, 1 hour per day. Again, if you have 1,000 employees, well, that's probably a large services organization with the same average salary per hour. So let's not make them work on weekends. 245 working days times 30 times 1,000, 7.3 million in savings. So just to give you a few ideas of ROI calculations, it's just simple math, and I think it's easy to explain this type of things. And obviously you can make it much more complicated, or more conservative, or more aggressive. So with that,